Hello and welcome to VLearn, Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 5 of Data and File Structures. In this session, we are going to study about queue. Topic to be covered in this session are Introduction, queue, operation of queue, array implementation of queue, algorithm for implementation of the same, C++ implementation of queues, linked list implementation, insert to a linear queue, deletion in a linear queue, circular queue and priority queue. So first of all, introduction. When we are talking about ordinary English, in ordinary English the queue is defined as a waiting line. Like अगर हम किसी टिकट परचेज करने जा रहे हैं और वहाँ एक लाइन में लगे हैं, that is a queue where a person is waiting for getting something is a queue. But in a computer application, a queue to be a list in which all the additions to a list are made at one end and all the addition from the other end. That is, अगर कंप्यूटर लैंग्वेज में हम बात करें तो क्यू एक आपकी ऐसी लिस्ट है जिसके एक एंड को हम रिस्ट्रिक्ट कर देते हैं फॉर इंसर्शन, मीन्स एट दैट पर्टिकुलर एंड वी ओनली इंसर्ट थिंग्स, बट ऑन द अदर हैंड वी कैन ओनली डू द डिलीशन पार्ट. So basically we can say that queues are first in first out list, that is FIFO, FIFO, first in first out. Now basically this is the picture of a queue. If we are talking about a queue, that means ये एक आपकी क्यू है जिसके अंदर आप 5 एलिमेंट्स इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं. बेसिकली अभी ये आपकी एक एम्प्टी क्यू है. अगर क्यू एम्प्टी है तो आपको फ्रंट और रियर ये दो ऐसे वेरिएबल्स हैं जिनके थ्रू आप ये मैनेज करते हैं कि वेयर टू इंसर्ट एंड वेयर टू डिलीट. दैट इज if the queue is your empty queue, then front and rear both will contain value -1. that is वो आप इस पूरे एरे में किसी को भी पॉइंट नहीं कर रहे हैं बिकॉज आपका एरे 0 इंडेक्स से स्टार्ट हो रहा है और दिस टाइम एरे के अंदर कोई भी एक एलिमेंट नहीं है. सो वी कैन सी दैट कि यहाँ पर आप फ्रंट और रियर वो दो वेरिएबल्स हैं जिनको हम मैनेज करेंगे कि हम जो मुझे ये बताएंगे कि हमें कब इंसर्ट करना है और कब डिलीट. लाइक फ्रंट की वैल्यू ये सिग्निफाइज करती है कि विच इज द नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट टू बी डिलीटेड, वेयरएज रियर ये हमें ये टेल करता है कि नेक्स्ट मुझे कौन सी इंडेक्स के ऊपर वैल्यू को इंसर्ट करना है. नाउ एज यू कैन सी यहाँ पर हमने एक एलिमेंट क्यू के अंदर ऐड कर दिया है. जैसे ही एक एलिमेंट क्यू में हम ऐड करेंगे, ऐड करने के साथ ही फ्रंट और रियर दोनों की वैल्यू को हमने इंक्रीमेंट कर दिया है, which is come up to 0 because previously it was -1. -1 को हमने 0 पे शिफ्ट कर दिया बिकॉज यहाँ पर आपका जो क्यू है उसमें एक एलिमेंट इंसर्ट हो गया. अगेन अगर इसके बाद हम कोई और एलिमेंट एंटर करते हैं तो फ्रंट तो 0 पर ही रहेगा बट रियर जो है आपका वो 1 इंडेक्स पे आ जाएगा. वेयरएज अगर मैं डिलीट करती हूँ तो फ्रंट से वो वैल्यू डिलीट होकर वो फ्रंट नेक्स्ट को पॉइंट करेगा. लाइक दिस यहाँ पर आपने एक और एलिमेंट इंसर्ट किया. फर्स्टली हमने 5 एंटर किया था, अब हमने 10 एंटर किया है. सो जैसे ही हमने 10 एंटर किया रियर की वैल्यू इंक्रीमेंट हो गई है, वेयरएज फ्रंट जो है अभी भी 0 को ही पॉइंट कर रहा है बिकॉज आपने अभी तक कुछ डिलीट नहीं किया है. अगर डिलीट किया होता तो फ्रंट भी अब 1 को पॉइंट करने लगता. Now, when we are talking about operations of queue, we can do the same by using two implementations. Firstly, array implementation and secondly, the linked list implementations of a queue. So, firstly, we will discuss array implementation of a queue. Queue is just a collection of the elements. Queue के अंदर आपका collection होता है elements का, but at the same time, all the elements should be of same type. क्यू के अंदर आपके दो वेरिएबल्स हैं एज वी डिस्कस लाइक फ्रंट एंड रियर. फ्रंट हमेशा पॉइंट करता है बिगिनिंग ऑफ द क्यू, दैट इज वेयर यू आर एंटरिंग अ वैल्यू, और रियर वेयर यू आर डिलीटिंग अ वैल्यू एंड रियर सिग्निफाइज द एंड ऑफ द क्यू. All the elements to the queue are added from the front and all the elements of the queue deleted from the rear end. Now, algorithm for the implementation of a queue. Firstly, we declare and initialize the necessary variables. Front should be 0 and rear is equal to -1. It's up to our wish. Like अगर हम चाहें तो हम फ्रंट और रियर दोनों को -1 वैल्यू भी दे सकते हैं और फ्रंट को 0 और रियर को -1 भी दे सकते हैं. For NQ operation, we always specify rear should be greater than equal to max size -1. Max size signifies the maximum size of an array. If the rear value exceed the maximum -1, then we print a message like queue is full. Else, we increment rear by 1 एंड क्यू ऑफ रियर, दैट मीन्स जो आपका एरे है उसका नाम आपने क्यू दिया है, उसके रियर इंडेक्स के ऊपर आप आइटम को इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं. फॉर द नेक्स्ट एनक्यू ऑपरेशन वी नीड टू गो टू स्टेप 2. जब भी हमें कुछ नया इंसर्ट करना होगा नॉर्मली यही ऑपरेशंस परफॉर्म होंगे. अगर तो आपकी रियर की वैल्यू मैक्स साइज -1 से कम है तब तो आप इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं, अदरवाइज आपको एक मैसेज आ जाएगा दैट इज क्यू इज फुल, दैट इज ओवरफ्लो. नाउ फॉर DQ ऑपरेशन front should be less than rear or should be less than or equal to rear. If the front is greater than rear, then a message prints like Q is empty. Else, item is equal to Q of front means जिसको भी front point कर रहा है वो एलिमेंट आप उठा के आइटम वेरिएबल के अंदर स्टोर कर देंगे एंड देन फ्रंट को 1 से इंक्रीमेंट कर देंगे. दैट मीन्स अब वो नेक्स्ट उस नंबर को पॉइंट करेगा जो आपको डिलीट करना है. और अगर आपको दोबारा से कोई डिलीट ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म करना है तो यू नीड टू गो टू स्टेप नंबर 4 एंड इफ all the operations are over then you go to 6th step, that is stop. So basically this is the algorithm for the implementation of a queue when we are dealing in an array. So there is a program which indicates all the operations which are included in queues. As we are doing data structures through C++, here we have to include iostream, stdlib, and moreover we have declared a macro max underscore size whose value is 10. Here we create a class named Q. Q के अंदर आपने 3 डाटा मेंबर्स लिए हैं. Like first is your array whose name is item, then 2 variables rear and front. 3 of them are of integer types. By default in C++ all the members are private and from public we signifies कि next section is of public type. So in this just a declaration of a constructor, function named NQ, another function named DQ. This is function contains size, display, is empty and is full. Now we will discuss the implementation of all these functions one by one. So here this line signifies that we are declaring a constructor of the class Q. कंस्ट्रक्टर बिकॉज जैसे ही आप ऑब्जेक्ट क्रिएट करते हैं उस टाइम पे कंस्ट्रक्टर ऑटोमेटिकली कॉल होता है, तो हम बाय डिफॉल्ट जो वैल्यूज देना चाहते हैं अपने एम्प्टी क्यू को वो वैल्यूज हम विद द हेल्प ऑफ कंस्ट्रक्टर दे सकते हैं. सो वेयर वी गिव रियर इज इक्वल टू -1 एंड फ्रंट इज इक्वल टू 0. This is the implementation of enqueue function. In enqueue function, we are passing a parameter named data. Data is that particular value which you want to insert in the queue. जब भी हम कुछ इंसर्ट करते हैं उसमें हमें अपने एरे के अंदर इंसर्ट करने से पहले रियर की वैल्यू को इंक्रीमेंट करना होता है. मींस रियर जिसे भी पॉइंट कर रहा है, लेट्स से रियर जो है वो 5 को पॉइंट कर रहा है. सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल वी नीड टू इंक्रीमेंट दैट वैल्यू व्हिच कम्स अप टू 6 एंड देन एट 6 इंडेक्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एरे वी इंसर्ट द वैल्यू व्हिच यू वांट टू ऐड. Next operation is of delete, that is DQ. In this we normally returns a value to whom the front is pointing. So by this statement we understand item within a brackets front plus plus. That means first you take out the value and then increment the value of the front. Like if you need to delete a value from the 5th index, first you take out that value and then at the next value moment front plus plus, that is 6th index. Next function is about display. If within a bracket not this pointer sign is empty, that means अगर आपका क्यू empty नहीं है तब ये होगा, अदरवाइज वो आपको एक मैसेज शो करेगा that is queue is underflow. This is the this pointer and here we are calling the function is empty जो कि आपको ये बताएगा कि is the queue is empty or not in the form of your boolean data type true or false. If the queue is not empty then you need to start your for loop from front till up the rear, and the same ways you need to just display the value of the array using cout function, that is console output function, and we use endl for just going to the next line. If the queue is empty then a message will be appears like queue underflow with the help of cout function. So this is the function of display. Now what is the size of queue? If you want to get the size of queue, the formula is rear minus front plus 1. That means जो आपकी rear की वैल्यू है उसमें से आप front को माइनस करें and then add 1. This particular is the size of the queue. Next function signifies the is empty, means if you want to know whether the queue is empty or not, so if the front is greater than rear, that means the queue is empty. As soon as the front increases or bypass the rear value, the queue becomes empty, else it is false. Means if the front is less than equal to rear, there is a space for insertion, or you can insert an element, but if the front exceeds rear, there is no space for insertion. Next is full. Here this pointers firstly call the size. If the size is greater than equal to max size, that means your queue is full, else the queue is not full, which returns false. So basically these two function is empty and is full, both returns your boolean value, that is true or false. So in short we can say that if the front increase the rear, the queue is empty, there is nothing to get deleted. But if the size of the queue increases the maximum size or equal to the maximum size, then the queue is full, there is no space for any new insertion. Now till now we will discuss all the functions, like getting how to get the size of a queue, find whether the queue is empty or full, or how to insert an element, delete an element, and moreover how to find the size of a queue. Now one by one we call these particular functions in our main function. So here we start main using int main. Firstly we create the object of our queue class, two variables of integer type, choice and data. Now while one cout, this statement is used to print the menu, like if you want to enqueue, dequeue, find the size, display all the elements, or you want to quit. Firstly you need to enter your choice. Cin, that is console input function, which accepts the user input, and finally this is the switch case where the values get inserted, and according to the value inserted by the user, the following cases can execute it. Like if the user say case 1, and that is the enqueue. If you want to insert something, so firstly you need to check whether the queue is full or not. Like if not queue is dot is full, that is here we are calling is full function with the help of the object queue, and if the queue is not full, that is if it is empty, so then only you need to enter the data, which is stored in data variable, and then you call your enqueue operation. Here you are passing the argument data, else the queue is full. Break signifies the end of the first case, and if you enter your choice to the second choice, that is your dequeue operation. So for this you need to find whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, you need to call, if the queue is not empty, you need to call your dequeue operation, and if the queue is empty, that means the message should be appears like queue is empty. In third case we need to know about the size of the queue. So for that we have the function size. So by using the object queue we can call a function size function. In a case 4 we just display the elements which is in the display function, so queue dot display and then break, and finally we have the case 5 which is quit. So here we call the exit function and break, and finally we return 0. This is the end of our program. So in this program we came to know about how to implement queue using array in C++. Now next comes the linked list implementation. अभी हमने array implementation read करी, how to implement queue using array. So next part is about how to implement queue using linked list implementation. So while using linked list for implementation in a queue, we need two external pointers like front or back. You can name them front or rear or front or back as you wish. This is the list. As you can see, the last inserted element is T, so the back is pointed to that element, and the first element which is inserted in the list is H, so that front is pointing to that element. So for this diagram I came to know that the element which is next to be deleted is H, and this is the last point of a list where if I want to insert a new element, then I need to insert it after T. So for declaration of the node in using linked list implementation, firstly we need to use a struct, that is I am going to create a structure. In structure we have two parts. First one is of the item whose type is character, means you can take any type, but if you want to enter a character or number you can take char type. Next one is the next pointer, which is used to point to the next node which is in the list. The next pointer is of the type of structures only because in this the next pointer has to point a node. So if I want to point a node, that pointer should be of node type only. So this is the declaration of the node, and this one is the declaration of the queue. We declare a queue by just creating a class. In the public section, I am creating two pointers. First one is the back pointer, which is act like a back, and second one is the pointer front PTR, which is act like a front. Both of the type of node queue, that is of the structure type. For creating a queue, here we will firstly input null value in both the pointers, that is your back PTR और front PTR. दोनों pointers में आप null store करवाएंगे firstly when you are creating a queue, and if you are destroying a queue, that means destroy the whole nodes in the queue. Firstly you create a temp pointer and let the temp pointer contains the value of the front pointer. While temp, जब तक temp true रहे तब तक front pointer के अंदर आप temp next store करते रहेंगे. That means आप एक एक करके हर एक element के ऊपर जा रहे हैं by using this next pointer, and then you pass a message that delete temp. And finally again आप temp के अंदर front pointer store कर रहे हैं. So by using this particular loop, while loop, you can destroy all the nodes in the queue. This is the function which is used to tell you whether the queue is empty or not. If the queue is empty, then back PTR and front PTR both contained null value, and if not, then the both contain some value. If you want to insert to a linear queue, then this is the function. Like first of all, you need to accept item variable, and if the rear is equal to null, means अगर आपका rear null है तो firstly आपको उसके अंदर एक dynamic memory allocation करनी है, which you can done by using the struct node pointer, and this particular line is used to give the space to the rear pointer. rear info is equal to item, that means rear end का जो info part है उसके अंदर आप item insert कर रहे हैं और उसके link के अंदर null डाल रहे हैं, and finally you are saying कि front should be equal to rear. If this is not, then again rear link के अंदर आप एक अगेन से मेमोरी एलोकेट कर रहे हैं और रियर को कह रहे हैं रियर शुड बी पॉइंट टू रियर का लिंक, मींस जो नेक्स्ट एलिमेंट है उसे पॉइंट करे, रियर के इन्फो के अंदर आइटम स्टोर करे और लिंक के अंदर नल, दैट इज द लास्ट. दिस इज फॉर डिलीशन. If you have to delete an element from the queue, first you need to create a pointer. If the front is equal to null, queue is empty. Else PTR is equal to front, item is equal to front info. जिसको भी front point कर रहा है उसका info part आप item में डाल दीजिए, और front is equal to front link, so that कि front जो है वो एक pointer आगे shift हो जाए. Shift जैसे ही आप करेंगे उसके बाद you need to just free your PTR and then print item deleted, which is your item which is you deleted recently. Or if the front is equal to null, then you can say that rear is equal to null. Next is your circular queue. Circular queue means when the queue is implemented using array, there is a situation which we can say that overflow. But the situation is like you have a space for 6 elements, but the currently array list contains only 4 elements. But still the condition overflow exists because rear reaches the maximum size, max minus 1 size. So if the rear exceeds the value, the queue becomes full or overflow. So for dealing from this problem, we go to circular queue. Like this. In circular queue, जैसे ही pointer आपका maximum number of elements पे reach करता है, उसको हम reset कर देते हैं 0th position पे, जिससे हमें benefit ये होता है कि if अगर आपके 2-3 spaces भी खाली हैं तो भी rear जो है वो maximum -1 पे reach कर गया है, so still it can shift it to your 0. Like this. Here your max -1, but we are inserting or deleting value in circular motion. Next is your circular queue. Circular queue means when the queue is implemented using array, there is a situation which we can say that overflow. But the situation is like you have a space for 6 elements, but the currently array list contains only 4 elements. But still the condition overflow exists because rear reaches the maximum size, max minus 1 size. So if the rear exceeds the value, the queue becomes full or overflow. So for dealing from this problem, we go to circular queue. Like this. In circular queue, जैसे ही pointer आपका maximum number of elements पे reach करता है, उसको हम reset कर देते हैं 0th position पे, जिससे हमें benefit ये होता है कि if अगर आपके 2-3 spaces भी खाली हैं तो भी rear जो है वो maximum -1 पे reach कर गया है, so still it can shift it to your 0. Like this. Here your max -1, but we are inserting or deleting value in circular motion. For insertion or deletion, when we are simple doing, we are just incrementing the value of rear or front. Means for insertion, we increment in rear value, which is rear plus 1. And if we want to delete, then front plus 1. But when we are dealing with the circular queue, the assignments change little bit. Like here, if I want to increment the rear, so rear is incremented like rear plus 1, and after that modulus of maximum. This particular situations helps the rear pointer to go in a circular motion. Like if it reaches maximum minus 1, then it should reset to 0 if the 0th is blank. Same for front. If I want to increment front plus 1, and the whole should be modulus maximum. That means आप front plus 1 को max जो भी आपका max value है उससे divide करेंगे, and finally जो remainder आएगा वो front के अंदर या rear के अंदर आप assign कर देंगे. This particular statement increments the value of rear and front from 0 to maximum, or moreover it can reset max minus 1 to 0 also. Now how to find empty circular queue? Means अगर वो 0 तक चला जाएगा और circular motion में move करता रहेगा, then how to find the queue is circular queue is empty or full? So if your front and rear points to a same value, that signifies your circular queue is empty. At the same time, how to find the full circular queue? If the rear plus 1 मॉडुलस नेक्स्ट मीन्स वो वैल्यू जो आप रियर को नेक्स्ट वैल्यू असाइन करने के लिए यूज कर रहे हैं, अगर वो वैल्यू आपकी फ्रंट के इक्वल आती है, दैट मीन्स आपका जो है वो सर्कुलर क्यू फुल हो चुका है, बिकॉज दिस पॉइंट्स टू द सेम पोजीशन so as to front. So instead of saying कि rear is equal to minus 1 is the full condition, here this condition changes slightly. Rear plus 1 modulus max, which is equal to front, and if this condition exists, that means that your circular queue is full. This is the program regarding circular queue. Here we first declare a macro max10 array queue, front and rear both points to 0, a function put function, and here you finding whether the queue is overflow or not. So if the rear plus 1 modulus max is equal to front, that means the queue is overflow and it will return minus 1. Whereas after doing so, if the queue is not overflow, then queue rear is equal to k. That means जो भी वैल्यू आपने इंसर्ट करना है, आपको वो वैल्यू आप रियर जिसको पॉइंट कर रहा है उसमें आप इंसर्ट कर सकते हैं. एंड फाइनली यू इंक्रीमेंट द रियर वैल्यू बाय यूजिंग द न्यू फंक्शन दैट इज प्लस प्लस रियर मॉडुलस मैक्स एंड रिटर्न द k. This is the next function which is used to print the q. In this we have a variable I. So to print the values, use a for loop, starts from front till up to rear, and for incrementation you need to use plus plus I modulus max and display your array by using cout function, that is console input if you are dealing in C++. There is another type of queue, that is double-ended queue, DQ, DEQUE, which is a linear list. In this, elements can be added and removed from the either side, but not in the middle. So in this we can say that we have two variations, an input restricted queue, DQ, and an output restricted DQ. In input restricted DQ, in this particular queue, which allows insertion at only one end of the list but allows deletion at both the end. Whereas if we are saying output restricted DQ, in this which allows, it is a queue which allows deletion at only one end but allow insertion at both the end. So this is two types of circular list when we are talking about DQ. Next comes the priority queue. A queue in which it is possible to insert an element or remove an element at any position depending on the some priority. Means यहाँ पे आपके हर एक एलिमेंट की कोई प्रायोरिटी डिसाइड की जाएगी और वही एलिमेंट पहले इंसर्ट होगा जिसकी हायर प्रायोरिटी होगी. सो इन शॉर्ट वी कैन से दैट कि प्रायोरिटी क्यू आपका कलेक्शन ऑफ एलिमेंट्स है, बट each and every element has some assigned priority values, and according to that we insert elements or we process the same. There are certain rules while accessing the priority queues. Firstly, an element of the higher priority is processed before any lower priority. And secondly, two elements if having the same priority, then according to the order in which they are added to the queue, we process them. So टू रूल्स आर क्लियरली सिग्निफाइज, लाइक अगर किसी की हायर प्रायोरिटी है तो पहले वो प्रोसेस होगा, बट अगर सेम पॉइंट पे आपके पास दो एलिमेंट्स हैं जिनकी दोनों की सेम प्रायोरिटी है, तो आप ये देखिए कि क्यू में पहले कौन एंटर हुआ है, जो पहले क्यू में फर्स्ट एंटर हुआ होगा आप पहले उसे प्रोसेस करेंगे एंड देन द सेकेंड वन. Now do it yourself. Firstly, explain the concept of priority queue. In this, you need to explain the concept of the priority queue, like write some statements through which we can understand what is priority queue is all about. And secondly, write the algorithm for the DQ operation. Thank you. Happy learning, free learning.